All right, so welcome to Live on ServiceNow. Today we're going to be going over some tips for delivering better customer self-service experiences and portal experiences. So before we get started, I have the safe harbor statement, and you may or may not see some capabilities that's currently not in the product. Please don't make any purchasing decisions. And again, when releases come out, you'll get the full list of what we're delivering. We're going to start with a little housekeeping here. The way to ask questions is at the bottom of your Zoom, there's a Q&A tab. Please use that Q&A tab because as people ask questions in there and we answer them, you'll see the answers as well. That way, prevent duplicate questions. You can see a list of everything. Most commonly asked question, will this be recorded? Yes, this will be recorded. And if you're part of the ServiceNow community, you'll see the post in the community in a couple days. And you will be able to follow up, ask questions in the community post. And then we also will post this to YouTube. So a couple different places where you can come back, watch the replay. And then finally, we're going to have a short survey at the end. These webinars are for you. We want to make sure we're bringing you the right level of content. We have different people that join. We may have an implementer. We may have a business user. We just want to make sure we're somewhere in the middle to where we're giving everybody the right information. And then also feel free to suggest new topics. We want to know what you'd like to hear. Okay, so my name is Harriet Franklin, and I'm an outbound product management director, and I'll be presenting today. I have some videos that I'm going to be playing, and one of the videos is coming from one of our colleagues, Jace. He's not going to be on the call, but I did want to give him full credit for the work that he's done. So, we would like you to join in with the ServiceNow experts and peers in future events. We're going to put a link in the chat for all the Live on ServiceNows. You may or may not be getting emails for that, but then go ahead and take a look at that link for future, or use the QR code here to scan so you can see more webinars. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Quick overview, then we'll talk about the pieces that we're going to concentrate on, which for customer self-service, deflecting calls is very important. We know a lot of you are implementing or have already implemented Now Assist AI. We just want to make sure that you're adding those great self-service components as well. We know there are a lot of pieces. Adding each piece each time gives you value. We'll talk about the ones that are for self-service. And then really, I know some people have implemented a while ago. It's always good to come back and refresh and see new capabilities we've added with the notion of configure versus code. So, and then I'll point you to more resources. Again, this presentation will be available in the community, and the recording will be available in the community and YouTube. And if you have questions, please use the Q&A tab to ask your questions. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is deflecting calls. And one of the capabilities that we put in the product earlier this year is on the self-service capability on the case form, you can add the ability to launch Now Assist AI. And the way that works is embedding, turning on Now Assist for essentially the create case form, which is a service catalog item. When you type in the subject, before you submit the case, Now Assist AI will go out and look at the subject you've put, look at content that it's curated through a series of knowledge, catalog items, all the multiple sources that large language models are pointing to, and then present that in the actual case form. So you can look at the information here. You can deflect by going into multi-turn Q&A genius results, all for the effect of not creating a case. We'll walk through that in a demonstration a little bit later, but the value here is preventing cases from going in the contact center, allowing your customers to solve cases on their own, and getting the answer the very first time. The second capability that I want to talk about in using ServiceNow Now Assist in self-service is the enhanced chat capabilities. And for most people who are used to using any of the current chat AI tools, you'll find this very similar. So, what we're allowing people to do is to leverage Now Assist when they're doing a search. So, everyone's familiar with the search bar, and now putting that into Now Assist and asking the question. The results will come back. And then, if you want to engage in a multi turn question and answer, you can launch that directly after your search. And most people are comfortable with that being in a smaller window, and some people are comfortable with that being in the larger window, which we're used to with other chat AI tools. The option is there for you to configure any way you want the customer to engage. The third piece is everyone is familiar or may not be familiar with Engagement Messenger. So if you're not familiar with Engagement Messenger allows you to take all these great self-service capabilities and embed them on your organization's website. So here we have an example where we're taking Engagement Messenger and placing it on a company that we have here called Electri. And the value here is the customer is engaged on your organization's website, not on your portal. They may be in the middle of purchasing something, or they may be on other areas of your organization's website. They can launch Engagement Messenger. What's nice about this is that administrators can configure the overall experience. So we've made a lot of self-service capabilities configurable, and it's all very no code, low code to place it on this website. And then it just brings all those capabilities. Here we already had virtual agent, and now we're adding Now Assist in virtual agent, the capability that's already in the portal as well. Okay, so the next part, we're going to have some recordings, and it's going to illustrate the three slides that I talked about earlier, so you can get a hands-on view of what that looks like. Here we have Julie Lewis, and Julie Lewis is an employee of the company Boxio. And Boxio is a customer of Electri, and this is the Electri support site. Here you can see the business portal where Julie logs in. Julie can engage with AI using Now Assist in AI search. She can also take a look at what are the existing cases, any information at her fingertips, such as quick links, trending articles, and any other services. The goal here is to make sure Julie has everything without searching for the information. But if the information is not immediately available, Julie can engage with AI. And with Now Assist Virtual Agent, you see the virtual agent here in the corner with a nice sparkle. Let's talk about case deflection. Here's an example of where Julie already has the issue and she wants to go ahead and create a case. Information from Julie has been filled in, including the product that she has and her solar panel. And so her issue with a dirty solar panel, and she wants to know what to do. Right away, you can see when Julie starts to enter the description, Now Assist case deflection presents results in the form, starting with the most relevant as well as any other issues around solar panels. Julie can then take a look at this knowledge article that has been presented and see that she now knows what she needs to do to clean the panel, and this has actually helped. And then from here, Julie doesn't need to create a case. So the power of adding case deflection with AI into the case form, this reduces the number of cases that go into the contact center, as well as increase time to resolve and customer satisfaction. All right. So next, there you saw launching AI as case deflection. The next video from Jayesh, we're going to look at going into search, entering your search criteria, and then launching into a conversational experience, conversational AI. And we call it conversational catalog item because we all know when you create a case, it's a catalog item. But there are many aspects to this use case that you're going to see here.
Hello everyone. Today I will demo what a modern support experience looks like on ServiceNow support portal, powered by Now Assist and AI agent-driven workflows that make catalog items conversational. In a typical support journey, users often struggle to find the right next step. Many end up abandoning self-service altogether or go straight to a live agent. Now let's see how that changes with Now Assist through a quick example. Here's our user facing an issue with their smart fridge. They come on to the brand new support portal and simply type in their issue. As soon as the user hits enter, Now Assist instantly understands the query and searches across resources, including knowledge articles and catalog content, bringing back the most relevant results. As you can see, there are certain steps that it has called out for troubleshooting. Let's assume that the user has tried all of these steps, but nothing has worked. So they click on Ask a follow-up. As soon as the user clicks on Ask a follow-up, the conversation moves into chat, where the user can continue naturally without losing context. At this point, the user types in their query into the chat box. Let's also maximize the chat window for a more immersive experience. The Now Assist understands the intent and offers the next best action, which includes reporting the issue to a specialist. Let's assume the user wants to go ahead with this option and clicks on Start Request. Now here is where a little bit of magic happens. The Now Assist automatically detects key details from the conversation, like the model, issue type, and pre-fills them. In this demo, I've kept the issue type visible just to show that context is being captured automatically, which will help in making sure that the case details are correctly filled out. As you can see, there are no forms, no dropdowns, no friction. It's all driven by natural language. The user at this point reviews the information, and since everything looks good, the user clicks on Yes, continue. At this point, the assistant or Now Assist has looked at the entire conversation it has had with the user, and it's realized that there's not enough details mentioned about the issue. So it prompts the user to add more details. So at this point, Now Assist compiles all of the information and previews it for confirmation to the user. All the information looks good to the user, so they click on submit. As you can see, as soon as the user hits submit, Now Assist created a fully structured case in the system, and it also gave the user feedback on what to expect in terms of next steps. So what just happened in this entire flow? The user described the problem in natural language. Now Assist understood it, extracted the right details, built and submitted the case, all without a single form field being filled manually. As you can see, the experience is fast, intuitive, and frictionless. Cases arrive complete, accurate, and ready for resolution. That's how Now Assist transforms self-service experience into an intelligent conversational support experience. That's about it from this demo.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
All right. So, kind of two different scenarios there. We saw where Now Assist was launched prior to a case and also launched from just going into AI search and then continuing that conversation with context into Now Assist chat. The next one we're going to look at is Now Assist in Engagement Messenger. Engagement Messenger brings those great self-service capabilities to third-party websites. Here we have Electree, and Electree is a solar company that has embedded Engagement Messenger. When the user clicks on Engagement Messenger, you can see the features here. And when the user clicks on chat, we've added Now Assist in the virtual agent. So here we can see George can chat using Now Assist and ask a question about how to configure the Wi-Fi router. Now Assist takes that question and using large language model presents the results to George. George then now has an issue and he wants to make sure they understand it's the broadband router. Each result is presented to George, and George can see exactly where the information has been leveraged. It can be leveraged from knowledge, catalog, and VA topics. By clicking on each one of the numbered buttons, George can drill into the details. Here, the sources of the information are the three knowledge articles. George decides to click on one of the knowledge articles. The knowledge article is displayed for George, and George can see all the details on the knowledge article in an enlarged window. George can review the content and then go back to the previous chat. When George returns back to the chat, he's reviewing the information and decides to ask another question to say that the router is not working. The Now Assist large language model tries to generate an answer, but needs more information by asking, can you please clarify what you mean? George provides additional details about the ability to connect. The router is not connecting. New information is now presented to George, and if this information does not meet George's needs, and George has provided all the steps above, then the option to create a new case or a ticket, in this case, it's a case, and from there, a new case can be created conversationally. George enters the information about the router not working and not connecting to the internet. And then that information is now presented back to George to provide any additional details. The option to update, to add attachments, to provide and change the current information is presented to George. And George decides to make a couple new updates so that they will be reflected in the case. He's adding the particular error number that he has. And then to review the case, George has all the relevant information and now can submit the case. George is provided all the information relevant to the case, including the case number and the description, and a response to see if he needs any other help. Now, with the capability in Engagement Messenger, customers can take advantage of Now Assist in Virtual Agent to provide faster answers using multi-turn Q&A. Engagement. Okay, right. So you've seen where AI can make the impact, but I do want to loop back around and talk about some of the changes you may not be familiar with. In the past, we've had the configurable portal widgets. At the beginning of the year for B2B customers on Yokohama, we have the business portal. The business portal is the preferred portal for B2B. If you're a new implementation or if you're an older implementation that wants to use the CSM or the customer support portal, please use the business portal moving forward. New implementations, if you already were an existing customer, please look at this. I'm going to have another session on how you migrate. But what we've done here is we've revamped the B2B portal. We've made all the widgets configurable. So everything you see on this page can be updated and changed without going into the designer. It can be made by a business user. And the whole goal here is improved customer navigation and configure versus code, which allows you a faster time to value. You leverage a library of configurable widgets. And because everything is configurable, seamless upgrades. I posted a blog to the community today that talks about the value of configure versus code. So please take a look at that, and then we'll drill into, if you're using the old portal, how you would change to the business portal for B2B. And then finally, I know a lot of people are using playbooks, but people who are using those playbooks haven't quite moved them to the portal. Playbooks can be placed on the portal. They're very valuable, particularly on initial intake, and then they're valuable from the perspective of instead of the customer needing to call, then the customer can see where we are in the process. So I would say the value here is that we want to simplify the intake for more complex cases and provide visibility. So if you are using playbooks for your agents and you want to move that visibility to customers, or there may be tasks that customers need to do, they can do that all from the portal. Okay, so today's session is probably going to be about 30 minutes. I do want to make sure that everyone has the links that will be in this presentation. Again, part of the community and will be shared in a couple days. I talked about that configure versus code blog. And then we do place all of our live on ServiceNows in a couple days on YouTube. But we also have a number of YouTube playlists. I know when we come out with these releases, it's really hard to catch up. We always do a what's new in the release. Even though you're not planning on implementing them, it's always good to just know what's out there. That as you start planning your upgrades and changes, it's good to know that you have other options. And then I do want to talk about faster time to value with your AI and the customer success team. So we have a team that's here to help you with the ServiceNow Impact team. We have a plethora of training and certification that um, you should keep up on. This AI train is moving very quickly. And even if you haven't started your implementation, which I know a lot of you already have, and a lot of you are already live, um, please come up to speed because things are changing rapidly. And then we have our expert services that's available to ensure you get live. Thank you, everyone. And please fill out the survey so that we can do the next webinar and get your feedback and make sure that we are providing you all the information that you need. We appreciate you joining today. Thank you so much for your time, and we will connect in the future.